the last episode I did for DWZ, as you know, I forgot to do something this past Friday, and I forgot to say congratulations to Cody Rhodes and, of course, his wife Brandy on the birth of their baby girl. Congratulations, guys. You guys are going to be amazing parents. So, however, this episode does not end right there. As you know, I mentioned I will do four events by Pro Wrestling Noah. Well, I decided not to push too much. I decided just cut it in half. So I got the first 2 days of Pro Wrestling Noah's Neo Breeze, which I don't know what Neo Breeze is, but the shows were really cool. So, however, let's get started with another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I'm your host here right here. So let's begin with right now with day one of Pro Wrestling Noah's Neo Breeze. This one took place back in April on the 3rd. This is day one right here. Now, this was a 4-day show from the same tour, but I only right now I'm going to do the first 2 days and we'll go from there. Now, the opening match was Yatsukata Yano, Kai Fujiyama, Kinya Okada, and Junta Miyawaki taking on the entire members of the Funky Express, consistent of new members of Akitoshi Saito, Masao Ino, along with the original members Shohei Taniguchi and Mohamed Yone. So this is like a brand new thing. I did not expect um, Saito and Inoue actually join, but it fits perfectly, because all of these guys are veterans taking on the younger generation, and it did work. Basically it was Inoue who put, I think he put who was it? I think Fujimata in the chokehold, and it was lights out. It was over the moment they stepped in the ring with him. So Funky Express won their match. Let's keep moving on. The next match is a singles competition. We got Full Throttle leader Hajime Ohara taking on Takashi um, Sugiura, who is the leader of Siguro-gun. Both of these guys are leaders. Ironically, this is a match between junior heavyweight and heavyweight. As you can guess, Ohara is a heavyweight, and Sugura is, in fact, a heavyweight. But you can guess right away with Segura, he's the toughest SOB in Pro Wrestling Noah. He is one of those guys that he's going to put you down one way or the other. And that's what he did with Ohara, winning him by submission and putting him in the camel clutch, and it was already over by then. So Ohara had no other choice but to tap out. Next match is another singles match. This one is a rivalry between these two guys. It's been going on for months. This is Nosawa Rongai versus Stinger member Hayata. This feud has been going on for a long time, but you guys probably would guess there's going to be a disqualification match with these two individuals. However, it did not end that way. Somehow Nosawa was able to pick up a victory, and I think Hayata was not a happy camper to find out that he got cheated out. So it practically ended in that predicament way. But however, it does not end right there. And as I said, because of the rivalry between Nosawa and Hayata, Kakuro Suzuki and Ikuto Hidaka, who are Nosawa's buddies, taking on the other members of Stinger, Yoshinari Ogawa and Yuya Zuzu. Now, this was a very interesting match. Somehow, Nosawa was able to whack Ogawa on his knee, but Hayata was right, chasing him around in circles around the ring and was unable to catch. But however, Nosawa was smart, and of course, um, Hayata, who was not involved in the match, punched Hidaka, allowing for Suzuki and Hidaka to win the match, which is really, really funny. But I can show you this feud between Stinger and and the other guys who I don't know what team they're going to be called, but yeah. Next match we have Congo members Tadasuke, Manabu Soya, and Katsuhiro Nakajima taking on Full Throttle members Yohei, Seiki Yoshioka, and Ma- Maomichi Marifuji. This was one of those matches where we have, I don't think there's none of them are, yeah. So basically, this is an odd matchup because two of the members, Soya and Nakajima, they're two of the heavyweight contenders in this team, while Tadasuke is the junior heavyweight. While team number two, only two members of Full Throttle are junior heavyweights, while Marufuji is the only heavyweight. It was very unusual, but however, it played out a pretty well way because it did show how somehow Nakajima was able to put down Yohei and make him tap out. So basically, this is just the beginning of seeing what Kongo can still do, even in a different type of formation. However, it does not end there. The the main event was a fact. The other members of Kongo in a 8-man tag team match, we have Niho, Haho, Masa Kiyamada, and Keno taking on Yoshiki Imamura, Daisuke Irada, Atsushi Kote, who is the current GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion, and of course Kaito Kiyomiya. Now, however, much of this has been shown between both um, Kodoge and of course Niho, who are want to fight for the title. But the match was pretty well. I wouldn't expect a whole lot, but somehow Kodoge was the one who was able to pick up the victory for his team. Now, you probably would have guessed that Keno would not like that. However, no, Keno is not the type. It's only if you pin Keno, he will not take that lightly. But however, this feud between Kodoge and Niho is far, far from over. So, let's keep moving forward with day two. Okay, so we got day two of Neo Breeze by Pro Wrestling Noah. This one took place on the 4th of April. The opening match was a singles match between Yasutaka Yano and taking on Ikito Idaka. So you can guess with this one that Idaka was able to pick up the victory since you got Yano, who is in fact more of the young boy, who is of course on a learning curve, but he was able to hold his own. But however, Hidaka was a far more veteran than Yano, and he picked up the victory for his team, I mean for himself. The next match is a 6-man tag team match. We got Kai Fujimura, Kinya Okada, and Juta Miyawaki taking on all members of Full Throttle, Yohei, Yoshioka, and Ohara. You can guess right away with this match. Full Throttle, their name stands for they go on a faster pace. But in fact, in this particular match, it was Ohara who picked up the victory when he pinned Fujimura for this match, allowing for Full Throttle to pick up the victory for his team. The next match is another singles competition. We got Tadasuke taking on Kaito Kiyomiya, which is a very interesting match. Now, you would have expected this one because Kaito recently was involved in a for the GHC heavyweight title against Keiji Muto, unsuccessful. But it was unusual for him to face against a junior heavyweight. But however, I think we're seeing now that Kiyomiya is now becoming a much bigger star, and I mean, he probably will be the GHC heavyweight champion one day. But we got to pay attention more to him, what he can do. And I think he will be a much bigger star. The next match we have Kongo, Manabu Soya, Masa Kiyamiya, and Katsuhiro Nakajima taking on three members of the Funky Express. We got um, Saito, Taniguchi, and Yone. This is a very different setup, but in a way, you would have assumed that somehow in this match it would fall in favors of Funky Express because Saito is in it. However, this time no. You have all three members of the young heavyweight contenders involved, and they were able to somehow to win, thanks to Nakajima, who put Taniguchi in a submission, making him tap out. So basically, Kongo continues to be a strong faction. The next match we have, of course, continuing with the rivalry with Suzuki and Nosawa taking on Stingers Ogawa and Hirata. Now, this match was a very unusual match. I'm going to tell this what happens. Suzuki and Nosawa, along with Idaka, they walked out. They just left during the match. Ogawa and, of course, Hirata don't know what to make of it. Now, fans thought they were going to come out and, kick some ass, but it didn't happen that way. They resulted in Stinger winning the match by countout. But however, Stinger did not take this win lightly. They felt like it's not a win. But you can tell they're agitated with their attitude. However, this rivalry will continue on for who knows how long. Now, probably some of you are saying, why has this rivalry been happening? Simple. It turns out that Kotaro Suzuki was the original leader of Stinger until Ogawa kicked him out and made himself the leader. So practically that's what it was. And he wasn't the only one who left. There was Yohei as well. Yohei was a member and then he joined Full Throttle with Ohara. So that's basically the history with Stinger. They were the best junior heavyweight contenders until Ogawa took over. But like I said, this rivalry with these guys is far, far from over. The next match is Yoshiki Inamura taking on Takashi Sugiura. So it's another match where we see the test of strength in this one. So basically, these are two of the heavy hitters. But however, to me, this match went in favor to Takashi because he is the veteran, he is the tough guy. I don't remember if he ever won the GHC heavyweight title, but I'll do my research to find out. But he's always been impressive. He always looks for the toughest and raddest individuals ever to join his faction, and that's what he did. He put Yoshiki in the camel clutch, and he had no other choice but to tap out. Now, finally, we got the main event. We got Kongo, Miho, Haho, and Keno taking on Momo no Shinshin tag consistent of Daisuke Irada and the current GHC junior heavyweight champion Atsushi Koroge, teaming with once again Naomichi Marufuji. However, in this particular match, much of it focused on Miho and Koroge. Reason I say this is because Miho wants a shot of the junior heavyweight title that Koroge has, and of course the match ended with Miho pinning Koroge for a shot of the GHC junior heavyweight title. Now, it's still unclear when will that happen, but I'm assuming it will happen soon once I catch up with every event that these guys have done. So we'll see where we go down the road with this once I catch up. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of me reviewing 2 days of Pro Wrestling Noah and Neil Breeze. I will do the other 2 days at another time, but however, there's some change of plans. Apparently, there's a brand new GCW event that came out. I'm going to review that on the next episode, but also I'm going to have a Hell in a Cell to review as well. but I'm going to postpone the DWZ discussion with what is the difference between King's Road and Strong Style, and of course the Pro Wrestling Noah style that they have. I forgot what they call it, but that's going to be at another time. But I will do that when it's the timing right, because I'm still catching up. And those who follow me on my podcast, stay tuned for the next one. Follow me on a DWZ podcast with J Rod. So we'll see what happens then. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.